want to take a moment to get personal with you. I grew up all over the world. I lived in Botswana, in Africa. I lived in Canada. I lived in all these different states. My parents lived in Turkey, and I went to visit. I was exposed to a lot of people, a lot of things. And I was always meeting new friends. Every few years we moved, always trying to fit in, always trying to be accepted. The problem was, because of my childhood and things I went through, I did not think I was worth crap. I did not see myself as worth it, as worthy of love. I did not look like looking myself in the mirror. Any flaw, any imperfection, and I would reject myself. And because of that, I was so afraid of me being me. And I wanted emotional intimacy. I wanted to experience real relationships and real love and real life. And God surrounded me with it. Friends, family, an awesome wife, an awesome family, awesome pastors, whatever it was, an awesome church. But I could not experience it and accept it and receive it. I kept it at a distance because I was afraid of intimacy. Because guess what? When you get closer to me, you begin to see the real me, and I don't like the real me, and I don't want anybody to see it. I was afraid. So you know what I did? I kept people at a distance. All of my relationships were superficial. I used and manipulated and abused so many people in my life. Because even though I was afraid to experience the real thing, they was there waiting for me to trust and to open myself up. I didn't want to. I isolated myself, and I took it. I took it because I still wanted it. And at one point, there was so much pain in my life that I would just retreat. I would play endless hours of video games. I would read fantasy novels. And I found myself in the trap of pornography and sexual addiction. And it became my safe haven. I was running from myself. I was running from the reality of my life. And I used everybody in my relationships. I pushed every relationship towards sex, towards romance. I pushed every boundary. I manipulated them. I used them. I wanted to be the hero. All because I was so afraid of seeing myself and accepting me, because I was so afraid that I was not enough. And so for 20 or 18 years of my life, every week, every month, I ran. And I got on the computer, I got in my fantasies, I got in my thoughts or in a relationship, and I just drowned the world out. I did not want to feel. I did not want to face. And I was a worship student. My degree, Bachelor of Science in Worship and Music Studies from Liberty University. I was leading worship, I was doing things, but inside, I was a hypocrite because I did not want to be real with others and real with God because I was so deadly afraid. Fast forward into my senior year, I am doing my internship with a big church in Orlando, Florida. And I'm leading worship, I'm directing a choir, I'm just having fun, having a good time. I still have not talked to anybody about my inner world. I tried, but I was so afraid. And I'd open up and I'd run away. I'd run away. One day, I'm in the office, and this dude shows up out of nowhere. And I recognize his face. He was a guy, when I was going to school in Virginia, still going to school, we were in a class together in the same worship program together. He knew me. We knew each other by face. But there was 300 people in this class. I did not know him. In fact, he was a little weird. I don't know. It just wasn't my cup of tea, my dude. He was older than me. And he's just there. No reason. I still don't know to this day why he was there. He wasn't interning. He wasn't working for the church. He just, I think, knew somebody and was in the area. He starts talking to me as we're working together. You know what he tells me? I didn't ask him. I didn't do anything. And he starts sharing with me about how he just had opened up about 25 years of sexual addiction in his marriage and in his life. How he cheated on his wife with people, men and women, pornography, everything. And he had come down to the South to get his life straight, to get help, to get healing, and to open up. He just shares this with me. I don't know this dude. And guess what he asked? Can you guess what he asked me next? Do you struggle with that? It was like it was just put right before my eyes. And I had a choice. I was so afraid to be real with people, but God had just landed something right in my lap. And I knew it was a divine appointment. You know what I told him? Yes. And for the first time I opened up, I was real about the reality of my life and all of the dark parts of my heart and my life that I'd carried into so much of my life. And I began to get help. And I today am walking not just only free and have overcome sexual addiction, but I have been freed from the voice of shame in my life. And I've learned to love myself the way that God loves me, that I am enough, that I can look in the mirror and say, bro, you are anointed, you are precious, you are a masterpiece, you are worth it. And